So you might have the same question I've been getting a lot lately, which is how do we continue to manifest upward when it seems like society is pulling everyone down? How do we reconcile survival instinct with creating reality based in our desires? We are going to cover that today. I have got some helpful ways for you to detach from what you're seeing externally and center yourself in your own reality creator energy so that you can manifest the things you want to experience in your life, no matter the external conditions around you. Hi, my name is Allison, and I am here to help you create the life you desire to experience based on your own inner authority in developing your power as a reality deliberate creator. And if at any time this video resonates, I would so greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. Okay, so this video is 4 parts. First, we're going to review the energy of fear and anxiety and panic so that we can take that energy and redirect it into an aligned vibration for what we do want to experience in our life. And we have got 3 ways today of doing that. So to start, have you ever been bowling? I love to go bowling. Been doing it since I was a kid. It is such a family fun activity, isn't it? And I'm not very good at it, but I love to do it. Now, I want you to think about today's headlines, all of this fear-based reporting, economic catastrophe, talks of food shortages, lots of doomsday scenarios floating around. And I want you to think about them like a big bowling ball, weighty, heavy, and with a lot of momentum because there is a lot of people out there talking about these things. Now, most people out there are like the bowling pins, and they line up and absorb and get hit energetically with this bowling ball. They get hit energetically with the external world. And they absorb these fear-based energies into their vibrational field unknowingly taking in this energy and allowing it to activate vibrations that they were already carrying. See, the thing is that witnessing these headlines, it's not creating the panic reality for these people. It is that they carry a vibration that is resonant with this, that gets activated. And unknowingly, these people then produce their assumptions and therefore their reality, the vibrations they radiate out. They produce it with these activated vibrations. And as we know, the external world is simply a mirror, a reflection of what we are carrying internally. So these people begin to experience, manifest realities into their life that correspond with the vibrations that have been activated. Now, we know this as reality creators. See, our role as reality creators, as master manifestors, is not to stop the bowling ball. We are becoming the pin that gets left standing because we are learning now to put our attention on our own vibration, to fortify ourselves within our own energy, not from what our senses perceive from the external, but based on what vibration we allow to be active in our internal world. And that is what we're going to work on now. Now, Frederick Dodson says, what you are looking at is looking at you, which means for how much time we are spending looking out at the external world, how much time are we giving in imagination to the internal world? We are people living in the world. Yes, we should be aware. But how much time we are giving to the awareness of what's out there directly correlates with the vibration that we are holding that then develops our internal state of being. So the first part, the first easiest, quickest thing to do is to take an energy audit. How much time, how often during the day is your attention being sucked by the external world? And in what areas, what times of your day can you divert it back to being internally focused? I have in another video a popular exercise. So when I'm driving in the car, something I often do so that I can practice training my attention and help me develop more presence in the now is while I'm driving along, I call out a color. So I'll look for everything that is any shade of red. That's the easiest when you're driving. And I will see it, and I don't name the object. I just look and see things that are red and just acknowledge it with my being. I'm not, that's red, that's red. It's about being aware and coming into alignment with visually seeing something I've decided to focus on. And then you just observe it and then go about and then observe it. And I'm choosing what to observe. I am choosing what I am deliberately conscious of. Or I'll look for things that have that start with a letter, like T. And then I will just go through and observe those things and find them, and it tunes you into opening your perspective. And then you find things that you wouldn't have seen before, or suddenly your awareness becomes open. And this is such a great way to open your awareness without introducing any egoic mind resistance. And that is one of so many ways that you could discover for yourself to open up your perspective and to re-establish control over your own attention. I have two social medias for all the social medias. So, like, I have one YouTube account where I watch news and I get caught up and I hear all the things. And then I have another one where it is all of the things that reflect back to me the life that I like experiencing and are supportive of that energy, so that I can deliberately decide, okay, I am going to look at the external world, I am going to get caught up, but I'm not doing it unconsciously, so that then I can prepare myself. I can sit in the energy, I can choose the way I'm going to perceive this information. I can get the information and then I can exit. And then I come back over here and I fill my vibration with the things that are supportive of the energy that is expansive in my life. What we are looking at is looking at us. How can you help yourself open your perspective to more things that help you align with the reality you want to experience and not the reality that everyone else thinks you should experience? Okay, number 2. In every history time period of all ages, there are people who not only survive, but thrive. In every economic downturn and terrible point of history, there are always people who survive and thrive. And I am sure that you have heard a lot of opinions out there on how best to survive and thrive now. You might have seen videos telling you to start stockpiling food, or about stories about wealthy people building bunkers. Or you hear people saying homesteading is the only way to really be secure. There's all those people saying buy gold, buy silver, buy Bitcoin. That's the only way to be economically secure. There are people out there saying to move countries. There's all kinds of ways in which people are trying to find a way to access survival and thriving. Now, it is not that this advice is wrong or bad. It can be sensible. It can be good advice. But when people are trying to give you conditions that need to be met in order to survive and thrive, what they are really doing is showing you their belief system. They are showing you what I call the reality box that they operate inside of. A reality box is the set of limiting belief conditions someone accepts as the framework through which their reality operates. They probably even literally say it out loud. These are the set of conditions you need to meet in order to thrive. But the part that goes unsaid, that they leave off, is the part where they're essentially saying, come join me in this reality box. See, the thing is that even if a lot of people repeat an idea for reality, and even if a lot of people agree and go along with it, and even if this reality comes to pass, it is still just a set of external conditions that a lot of people have aligned with. It does not mean it has to be the reality you align with. And simply having the conscious awareness, the space in which to say, that is their reality box. That is enough to detach you from it. We know that most people get absorbed, get hit by the bowling ball, and think they have no choice but to get knocked down. And our awareness that we do not have to step into that reality box is enough to keep us outside of it. I totally mixed metaphors right there, but I think it works. Awareness sets you free. And then deliberately taking the time to define your reality box will keep you free. Because even when we're manifesting and expanding, we are creating parameters for our life. If you're manifesting a partner, then the parameter you're setting up is not being single. If we're manifesting abundance, then the parameter we're setting up is not living in lack. So if we know the world is a mirror, and what gets projected onto the mirror is our own internal state of being, the real question becomes, what reality are we creating through our imagination? A fear-based reality or a desire-based reality? Because either way, imagination is being used. A helpful exercise I use to help me spend time in imagination and holding the vibration I deliberately choose is as follows. First, I write out and I think about all of the sort of fear-based, panic-based, survival-based feelings I've had lately from the external observations. And I kind of just take a little time to figure out what qualities are they pinging? What is the real fear and anxiety over? Is it safety, security? Is it economic? What is it that's getting pinged? And now I'm going to practice showing myself the vibration that makes me feel secure in these things. So I write out something like, I am safe, and I express it, or I show it, or I feel it, or I see it, I embody it. Now, I like express it because we don't want to put it in terms where we need to look for proof. We don't want to introduce resistance and doubt from our egoic mind. So if I'm saying I express it, well, yeah, I can express it right now. I can generate that feeling right now. Or I can find a way, something I do during my day that I feel does represent the energy of feeling secure. And then I can write that instead. So it really leaves it open, but not so open that our egoic mind can challenge it. And the point, the real point here, is to generate the feeling of it. So it's important to relax your body. I put a little smile on my face. I relax my face. And then I express it. And I sort of just open myself up to imagining the feeling, to generating the feeling, and then just breathing it out. And then once you've brought this energy up into your field, Very often then it expands your awareness, which we've already practiced doing, so that should be very open and easy to do. And then you will notice that you will find examples in your life that you can apply it to and further bolster that feeling. Or you can think of something perhaps today that you could do and hold that feeling while you're doing it. Lastly, my favorite family saying around the house is God helps those who help themselves. Now, how do I mean it here? There are some things where we are really 100% living in the end. There's no question, I got this. So, for example, for the elementary school system here, it's a lottery. And there was one elementary school that I found that I absolutely wanted my daughter to go to. But I felt it so clearly that I didn't even write a backup on my form, that I had us move close to the elementary school before we even got the acceptance letter because it was done. It was done, and it was done. That can happen a lot. It will happen more frequently the more you get used to holding your intentions. But sometimes, with some things, we need to, as Frederick Dodson says, midwife the energy with action. So, for example, I am healthy. I am healthy. I have a very high functioning body. I feel very capable physically and healthy. And I back that up by working out. I like to work out. Working out is a way I express my healthy body. So that helps me midwife the energy. I am participating in my healthy body. And it makes me just that much more solidified in my intention, in the reality I want to experience. And so it can be that being in prepared for contingencies can feel good. I live in California. I feel very safe and secure. I also have an earthquake kit. It's the same for getting in a car and wearing a seatbelt. The thing to ask yourself when you're considering this type of activity is, am I preparing to avoid something negative, or am I preparing because it feels good to set myself up for something positive? In other words, does this action promote the feeling of participation in my life, or does this action promote the feeling of fear and anxiety? There is no action that has any meaning other than the meaning we give it. Energy is totally neutral. So prepare because it feels supportive, but do it in your own energetic terms, choosing the perspective and energy you hold while engaging in it. And I hope that you found this video energetically supportive. And you might consider joining my Manifestation Mail Club, where I send you physical tokens to help you really ground down into the reality and realness of your manifestation capabilities. Either way, I am so glad you're here and grateful for you, and I look forward to bringing you more. Thank you.